cure or something, but a lot of things have to happen in order for that to really come online, so I don't know if you want to bet on that. Rejects, though, they're taking a lot of time on the reserve time. By comparison, Suffocate, they know exactly what they want. They haven't touched a second of their reserve time, and now with 9 seconds left on the clock, Rejects, they go for the Timber Soul.
So it's going to be a support mix. But the thing I did think about Rubik is he does have a null field, and if you look at their first 3 picks, they are purely magic.
Rick, there's only 10 seconds left to pick a hero!
Magic protection in the mid game.
5 seconds, Morty. It'll be fine.
Yeah, okay. No, that's definitely something worth thinking about.
Reserve
Perhaps
time.
we'll see someone go for a pipe on the side of Suffocates to beef that up even further. Yeah, like you were saying, support Nyx Assassin. How does that work?
Yeah, it's just you
Oh,
often get
dire
boots
team
first,
ban!
and you just max your impale, and you walk into lane and throw stuns at people. It's obviously a lot better if you can combo it up with like a CM, because then you get a guaranteed stun. But and then
Oh man,
say if
Rick,
you have
there's only 10 seconds left to pick a hero!
Impale, Sunstrike, it's a lot of damage.
5 seconds, Morty. It'll be fine.
Those 3 spells.
A hero who won't be caring about that combo all that much, though, is this Lifestealer.
Yeah.
And you're already pointing out the reliance on magical damage and spells for the Rejects. Lifestealer are going to be shrugging all of that off, and we saw what Lifestealer can do in Game 1, this time paired up with a Magnus and Warlock. Already looking to be a pretty good game.
Yeah, that's Fon had a really good game.
Oh man, Rick, there's only 10 seconds left to pick a hero!
A Lifestealer, if you hit
Come on,
that,
Radiant
there's
team,
a
you gotta
point
pick 'em
if
right.
you got your farm and you got a few kills where about 20 minutes you are just so impossible to deal with.
Yeah, and so this one's an interesting one. Timbersoul versus Lifestealer in lane. So we obviously saw that Earthshaker Lifestealer matchup last time round. That did not end well for the Earthshaker.
Yeah,
Timbersoul
5 seconds left now.
is sort of a double-edged sword against Lifestealer.
Yeah.
Melee strength core, your Whirling Death does a lot of damage. But on the other hand, you've got your reactive armor.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's I think it's the one where and bad against each other, and it just comes down to the
Queen of Pain.
Go, dire team! Pick 'em up! Pick 'em out!
That's an interesting matchup. It's decent for Queen of Pain. But they've also gone and picked this Quap into a Nyx Assassin, which,
Oh, man,
in my
Rick,
book,
there's
is a
only
bit of a
10
no-go.
seconds left to pick a hero!
yeah. Quap is definitely a strong laner, and I think can really get on top of an Invoker. But you're right, Nyx is quite good against Quap.
I suppose it is a support Nyx, so maybe won't be a worry for her early on, but still got to think about that later on. But now the Ursa coming out for the Rejects gives him a frontliner, I suppose.
It's another game where I'm concerned Rejects need a few items before they're gonna be able to really come online. Your Ursa wants a blink, your Invoker's gonna want an Axe, your Timbersault's gonna want something like a Yules or a Hood maybe.
Oh man, Rick, there's only 10 seconds left to pick a hero!
Yeah, I suppose adding to that even further is going to be the fact that this Nyx Assassin played in the support role isn't gonna get his level 6 nice and early like you really want. Although I say support, it's being played by Ebad here. Is this a bit of a switcheroo?
Dexter
Is
was
Ebad
playing,
play?
maybe they're Ag trying. Maybe Timbersaul's going 1v1 versus Magnus, which is a great matchup for Timbersaul. And they're taking a Nurse to take on Lifestealer, which could work, actually.
Yeah? Okay. And if you're saying that they could be struggling later on to really get their items up, getting the lanes off to a good start could certainly be one way to remedy that, and it looks like you're spot on. Headed right into the safe lane is going to be Timbersaul here, starting up with those double slippers. So he really wants to get his poor man shield in this lane and go toe-to-toe against Magnus. Magnus, however, has TP'd out, has placed down a ward, and going to be blocking out that camp. So no pulls to be had here for Timbersoul, but I don't think he was going to pull anyway.
No, certainly wasn't. But Sean TKS is coming to the top lane again. They're going to look to try and dual lane on what they presume was a tri-lane, but I don't think they've realised yet. They've smoked down on bottom there.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to realize when this Crystal Maiden runs into Rubik here. Rubik, poor Rubik. And here we go. This is exactly what you said. What an easy combo there. The Frostbite into the Impale, into the Sunstrike. And the finish with the Ursa and his Fury Swipes. That was dirty. That was downright disgusting.
Good combo. Oh, he just...
What was that?
cancelled his turn.
Accidents happen. Hopefully Fawn here not going to have a unhappy accident of his own as he's forced to go away. But top lane, we've got a bit of a tussle here for the rune. Timbersoul gonna actually nearly get skewered onto the high ground. That was very close, but he is able to walk out, but now taking a lot of damage. As Warlock comes in with that Shadow Word, that right click from Magnus, that really hurts. Thankfully for Dexter, he does have a salve, and he should be able to pop that, get back to lane, but he's going to be down a salve, down a bounce here, and importantly does not have his poor man shield for this lane.
Nyx is looking for a courier snipe.
Ooh. He wants it, and looks like he might get it. No marker there on the courier. He's got the boots, actually missing that stutter step a bit. He will find it under the tower eventually, but that means he's going to be taking a lot of damage in return, even aggroing a creep off to the side there. That's a pretty good start here for the rejects.
Yeah, it was a slight mistake in not getting that second hit, cost him a bit of life, but he'll take that. Well, gold. No courier for the clock.
Not going to have her bottle for a while. That's certainly going to hurt. And next, he's accomplished his mission, and now he's right back in the bottom lane.
I wonder how long they'll stick with dual lanes.
Yeah, that dual lane really worked out for them last time with the clockwork and the puck really able to bully around this anti-mage, but Dexter this time around, now that he's finished up his poor man shield, he won't be standing for that. So, interesting situation bottom lane, 2 versus 3. Last time we saw a 2v3 lane, the 2 came up ahead, but this game, just looking at the last hits, looking at the positioning of the waves and these heroes, clearly it's going to be rejects coming on top. And we're fun.
This is my issue with Rubik though. What does he give you here? He's got a telekinesis. He can lift someone. But in terms of this, what he provides to this lifesteal right now, he can't.
No, I definitely see your point. If he could set up for something, but you know, maybe you'd have something to do. But what do you offer really as a Rubik? You're not the Dazzle. You don't have Sustain. You don't have any Harass like a Skyref Mage. Speaking of Harass, though, a lot of Harass coming out onto Dexter. Both the Fatal Bonds and the Shadow Word being used onto him, forcing him low. He does have 3 points into the reactive armor, and he's even got a salve out to him. Gonna be popping that one, so really just trying to stay in lane, trying to find his experience, and he should be fine from there.
So, like you did say, they can't really do this combo onto the lifestealer. They frostbite him, he'll just rage before the impale lands. So, it's gonna be hard to get a kill.
I suppose the question will be whether they even need to get a kill, because as it is, he's suffering in terms of last hits. Last game, leader in net worth. This game standing at 8-0, while Ursa's pretty much doubling him up at 15-5.
We were talking last game about how good lifestealer is at trading, but you can't trade with Fury Swipes.
Certainly not. Ursa is all alone, however, which means that Vani thinks he's got an opening. The pullback will find him too, but here comes Nyx Assassin. The support is here. Crystal Maiden follows up onto that Impale with the Frostbite, and it's a simple matter of swiping him down.
No Sunstrike needed, but a nice Impale from Ebad with his face certainly wasn't gonna get that Frostbite off.
Top lane, it appears Sean, he has left this lane, so one thing to help out bottom. Stun does miss from Nyx Assassin, so no aggression gonna be happening there. Ursa pops a salve, healing himself back up, wants to get right into action. And there's almost another stun available onto Evad. But yeah, Warlock, he's left that top lane.
Regeneration.
Can do blame until goes reactive armor charges up, so can't really harass him. But the mid lane matchup is slightly favouring Swap, not too large, in all honesty.
And we haven't really talked about that. Perhaps we should. I was under the impression that this was a very Queen of Pain favored lane, but apparently not. Invoker, he is holding his own. He is significantly far behind, but even that Crystal Maiden aura is helping him out quite a bit.
Too much. Seems
Queen
like
of Pain.
got a Mexican stand-up.
Yep, free on free. Mexican standoff gonna be broken as Aleph pulls back Faith, but the stuns are coming out onto Rubik in return. Rubik goes down first. Crystal Maiden to follow, but now it's 2-on-2. Sunstrike coming out with the body blocks, and those body blocks allowing Ursa to get in range, get the kill, and in fact now turning onto Lifestealer. Stun will miss, and with that stick pop, Lifestealer is going to be turning things around here, gets the Ursa kill. So what's the total score there? 2 for 2?
2 for 1. Did CM go down?
Now CM went down.
Yeah, they did.
Okay.
That was 2 for 2.
I suppose that's actually a trade in favor of Suffocate as they get the Ursa kill. But Ursa, he's right back to action, TPing in. Now Crystal Maiden with Ursa available, they want to get onto him here. Stun will land, but Ursa's slowed down by that open wounds. He can't get in range. Here we go though. Now they've got the slow onto Warlock. They're actually not going to dive the tower, instead turning around for Fawn. Crystal Maiden using the last of her mana to slow things down for the retreat. But Fawn, he wants more. Actually, Queen of Pain, where did she came from? She gets that kill quite handedly. Off on the side though. We're not done yet. But one of those Fury swipes adding up Fawn. He's forced to disengage. Queen of Pain came out from nowhere, picks off that kill, and actually she might be going for more. She's got the double null tallies, has an Invis rune, and has eyes onto Invoker. He's got what it takes for a Ghost Walk, but we'll see if he gets it off in time, and looks like the answer will be yes. Will he tick down? Almost certainly, and there we go. DOTs between the Queen of Pain and this Warlock, they do finish him off, so back-to-back kills here for Queen of Pain. He'll take that one. Skewer under the tower top lane, actually. Timbersoul in some trouble, or perhaps not, as Reactive Armor. That's a pretty good spell.
Speaking of bad matchups, we're saying this is another really heavily Timbersoul favored matchup. But, this Magnus is also holding.
Dire's middle tower's under attack.
Doing a lot better than I thought he would be here.
Well, to be fair, he did have a lot of help from our Warlock here, but now that Warlock's gone, as we saw, even a Skewer under tower doesn't do much to Timber. Bottom lane, some more aggression onto Lifestealer. They want to force out the Rage, but instead they're just going to be picking up Crystal Maiden. And now with the Self, Lifestealer still holding onto the Rage, gets right onto CM, but forced to use the Rage now as Ursa comes in. He's the bouncer for his Maiden, and he's going to be bouncing these heroes right back to their tower.
I thought that CM would
Middle
take the
is
ball,
missing.
for sure, but Ursa just comes in, throws a few swipes at the Lifestealer, and suddenly Lifestealer's not so scary anymore.
We do have an interesting situation developing here, though, where Rejects, it almost feels like they're desperate to get some action, get some kills going on into the bottom lane, as we have a pulse coming out. Lovely. But, yeah, Lifestealer very clearly struggling before. Now he's actually pulled ahead of Ursa in terms of last hits.
That's not what you want to see. He's also not dying, so he's personally doing okay. I noticed
You are simply not
Queen of Pain
worthy.
a Orb of Venom. I don't think I've seen that before.
I certainly haven't. Orb of Venom did get changed recently, so it's slightly more effective at harassment coming from ranged heroes, but I'm not sure that's really worth it. I don't know. She is winning her lane for what it's worth, and perhaps that means something. Top lane. Timbersoul gonna be chaining away. He senses the impending threat of this Queen of Pain, so he's out to safety. Queen of Pain still hunting though. back into bottom lane. This is where all the action's at. A long-range stun gonna land onto our Warlock here and setting things up for the strength ship. But here comes a TP in front of Magnus. Gonna get the RP, but it's only onto one. They are able to get the CM kill regardless thanks to the Fatal Bonds. But Nyx Assassin, although RP'd, was able to get away. Actually, I say get away. No, he's dead. Once again, double kill here. Full Shon TTS. Ursa able to get some vengeance. But vengeance could come at a cost. As now surrounded by free heroes. It's a slow and painful death for him as Lifestealer feasts onto him. Somehow, Queen of Pain died. Who got the kill? Invoker got that kill, so Queen of Pain went on Invoker mid lane? I suppose I don't even know.
He used Sonic Wave and died. I'm not sure how, but it finishes with Midas.
And that's with Invoker not even having his Sunstrike available because he committed that bottom lane. An interesting situation, but we've got another situation here. Another stun coming out onto Rubik, another Sunstrike, not even needed to finish him off, and free on free, things are really starting to heat up, and we're talking about how it felt like Suffocates, they were stabilizing. Rejects, they're right back in with it, with a couple of fresh kills.
Well, we're talking about coming into this. We wanted to see a game so we didn't have to watch people farm. Like we said, they got what we asked for.
Fawn, though, perhaps wishes it was a farming game. He's having his armlet very delayed compared to that game one. Ooh, top lane. Rubik trying to go for the curry kill, but he hits like a, I would say girl, but that's a bit sexist, isn't it? He gets revenge in his own way, able to put Timbersoul onto the cliff, but Timber just chains down and in fact goes for a bit of payback of his own, but not going to be found there. Just ends with everyone walking away. But as usual, all eyes in bottom lane. Now they know that Rubik isn't around, so it's just two heroes here. Perhaps the rejects go for a bit of a dive, but playing it coy for now. Still gotta respect the Lifestealer.
Oh boy, Dire's middle tower's under attack.
Fatal Bonds for a bit of harassment onto Ursa here. Really, both teams. It's so hard for them to get. Ooh, top lane, yeah. RP committed onto Timbersoul, but he pops the stick and he's pretty darn healthy. Still has those stacks. But a nice touch from AV, dodging out all that damage now, skewer hamming away. Rubik will be helping Magnus finish that one off. He played that one perfectly, dodging all of Timber's spells and just kiting him around, just slowly whittling him down with their own spells.
Yeah, if Timber had landed those spells, AV died for sure.
Mid lane, Queen of Pain just blinks in, unloads everything, and goodbye Nyx Assassin.
All he wanted to do was get his level
Dire's middle tower's under attack.
Didn't use it though.
You know, Morty, it sometimes feels like they don't even care.
I
They're
think the next one on
fortified. Dire's top.
Yeah, apparently.
He's got 6 now.
Well.
He can scout and gets killed.
Yeah, top lane, a familiar situation here. Timbersoul, once again, being surrounded. They even dropped the Warlock Golem. Can he actually get away? He's slowly getting taken down. He's actually able to turn around and get the kill here. And that's what we're talking about. You gotta respect this Timbersoul. All that damage, and now TPing into top lane will be Crystal Maiden. Gonna be slowing down Rubik here, setting things up, but things are gonna miss. That chain, looking for a tree, it did not find one, which means that Newbie Boo is able to walk out of there.
That's
Wow.
Timbersaw versus Strength here, isn't it? Oh.
Dire's middle tower's
It's a
under
classic.
attack.
I've dropped my Warlock Golem, I might as well use it to farm. Crystal Maiden gonna be trying to farm that one up too, but it's a pretty strong Golem.
Huh. Dire's middle tower.
Nyx Assassin, he's in some trouble here. Used that Vendetta to try and get onto Shon TKS, but the Shrine was there, the support was there, and Ebad won't find anything. Except for disappointment and shattered dreams.
He'll just
And-
finish his armlet on Lifestealer.
That's gonna be nice, but Queen of Pain doing much better than him. She's already got a Veil and now Pain Rune too. Doesn't have the ultimate available, but does spot out a Crystal Maiden. Instead, it's gonna be Timbersoul going for some farm here. And they do finally go into Crystal Maiden. Easy kill there with the Veil.
Did you forget your safe word?
I mean, Queen of Pain
Dire's top tower's
quietly
under attack.
farming away, quietly dying after going onto Invokers, but
Ooh, Dire
she's
got
almost level
fortified in
12.
their
She's got the
structure.
Veil and almost has her
Dire's
ultimate
top
back up,
tower's
so
under attack.
really starting to come online here. We'll see what she can do around the map. And like you were saying, that's the arm that completed in Lifestealer too. That's a pretty big item. So although things have been slowed down a bit by this aggressive tri-lane coming out from Rejects, Suffocate squad, they're starting to come online. Could say the same for Ebat though. Actually, he's not even going to go for this Nyx here. He wants the juicier targets. He's still hiding inside the Vendetta. Instead, it's going to be Fawn getting aggressive and Ursa trying to turn things around. The Rage is activated. Ursa now lifted up. He pops the ultimate just in time. But just in time for Magnus to come in. He's going to come down and nice RP onto the backlines. But Lifestealer's already down. Timbersaw has shown up to match this Magnus's movement. So Magnus is forced to skewer out of there. Unfortunately, no mobility of that sort onto Rubik, so he's just going to be the other sacrifice. They get the Ursa kill, but they lose their position 1 in return, and the Ursa too. But here comes Queen of Pain into the backlines, destroys the Crystal Maiden, and thanks to the Fatal Bonds, takes out the other support too. Invoker forced the Ghost Walk out of there, and pretty much the last man standing for his team is going to be Timbersaw, getting chased down by Queen of Pain. She's very low on mana, but she does have a DD rune. Popping the bottle charge to regain some of that mana. She does have the Veil, she does have the ultimate, but not enough mana, so tread swapping to get that mana available. She's going to be blinking very far forward here, but this is a mobile Timber, so max out Timber Chain, you're not going to be able to find him, and he just chains out of there, but I don't even know who won that engagement.
Wow, Timbersaw was able to pick off the Magnus on the backside. He dived on her, but that was the blink reveal of the Magnus. Got a decent blink timing. That was a great RP, and yeah, I thought that was the fight done, but then suddenly mass TPs from everyone, and I think they turned it around. You're right, I'm not actually sure.
Full on skirmishes, perhaps going the way of Suffocate. We'll see how one-man pickoffs go. Nick's setting things up for the easy Sunstrike kill. Genesis takes that one, and not much to say there really. If you're a Warlock farming all alone, things like that happen.
Yeah,
Similar situation top lane though. An imbalanced fight as Ursa 1 versus 3 doesn't have a TP, no way he can TP out of there. He's gonna pop the Enrage and try and fight this one out, but no luck to be found there. Mega kill streak for Queen of Pain, not bad at all.
few things sadder than a cute little Ursa trying to run around and hit people, but not being able to swipe his claws or anything. Some good case.
Well, that was expertly played, to say the least. I feel like even this Lifestealer, as tanky as he may be, with his armlet, could have gone down there to Ursa, but played that one perfectly. They played around him, waited out the Enrage, and just took him down eventually. Here we go, once again, Queen of Pain gets that pickoff onto Ursa. This time didn't have the Enrage, it's up now, but not up in time to save his life. They're not done yet, Faith. I mean, if Ursa dies, I don't think a Crystal Maiden stands much of a chance. She's holding on for now, but under the tower, Queen of Pain finds that kill. Ebad just watches on. Cockroach hiding inside his invisibility. He's actually going to go on here, setting things up once again. That was actually one of the smartest things I've ever seen, but unfortunately wasn't enough. Queen of Pain unable to share the burden, and in fact, perhaps paying for it. It's only a 2-point Wex EMP, so it doesn't burn too much of her mana. She's able to blink out just fine, but that was a very nice attempt.
She wanted to share the Sunstrike damage to her, because the Nyx just walked off. And,
Worthy tribute.
I think she did. I think she did share it, but it wasn't enough. I think she made it. I'm not sure.
That's Bible fun, you know? When you try your best, but you don't succeed, and your support dies anyway. Normally we see that happen the other way around, the support taking some damage or even throwing away their life to save a core, but as a support player, it really brings a tear to my eye when I see a core do that. Queen of Pain once again though, in the enemy jungle. Once again, it's gonna be Faith taking the bad end of this Queen of Pain stifling dagger. Once again though, Ebad, he's trying to set things up. This time it's gonna be Warlock who's gonna be the sacrifice. And this time the Sunstrike won't be enough to take him out. Can Timbersaw finish the job? Gonna be successful in doing so, but now he's deep behind enemy lines, deep inside the Roshan pit. Does he care though? That's the question. Looks like he doesn't, as he's able to chain up to the high ground. Invoker coming in. The stun from Nyx gonna miss, but here comes Ursa with the Blink Dagger, gets the slow onto Rubik. He does have his Enrage and he is gonna use it. They're gonna find the kill onto Rubik thanks to that, and probably cleaning up this Warlock column too. Both supports out of the picture. Queen of Pain. Force the blink out, does have her ultimate, which perhaps means that they could attempt this Roche and contest. But it's gonna be pretty tough. Will they try and go for it? Looks like they want to. Warlock, he's TP'd right in. They even know that it's going on? They must know, as it's under an Observer Ward. And in fact, the threat of this Queen of Pain's ultimate is enough to force out Ursa from that pit. They get the tier 1 tower in mid all the same. And now, I think they have to get out, because here comes Lifestealer. Gets the slow out onto Nyx Assassin. Oh wait, yeah. Where's Magnus? Magnus, he actually was in base. I was thinking they could turn things around with the RP, but Magnus nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, he turned up to the fight, but didn't wanted to try and skewer someone else. Just missed it.
Well, even without the Warlock Golem, it's going to be Suffocate blinking on forward, but the blinks in return. Ursa's able to get out of there. And this rotation won't find anyone just yet.
I love this non-stop aggression here from Suffocate. They really suffocate the opposition, don't they?
Dire's top tower is under attack.
They're going to be going for a little more of that. Slowly chipping away at this tier 2, only showing the Queen of Pain. But it's an open secret, really, that her whole team is sitting behind her. Rubik hiding in the trees. Doesn't have a Blink Dagger, but Magnus does, and gonna be waiting this one out. Seeing if he can't get the perfect RP. Sunstrike. Where'd that go? And see that one, maybe just getting some high ground vision, but here comes Nyx Assassin inside the Vendetta. Was spotted out for a second under a sentry, and the pings are coming out. Dust popped by Quap. Not gonna find anyone. And here we go. Blinking on forward. It's gonna be all these dire heroes, and they destroy the Rubik. And now it's looking to destroy this Queen of Pain too. But a 5-man RP in return with the Fatal Bonds on top. Here comes Lifestealer. Ursa, he doesn't have the Enraging, or can he actually fight this out? He's putting up a pretty good fight. 3 versus 3 now, blinking on forward. Magnus going down. Lifestealer turning things around now. He's got the Rage, but he's already taken so much damage. He's forced to hide inside a creep. Here comes the Warlock Golem off cooldown finally. And they will be successful at taking down more kills. But Timbersaw, he's just too much to deal with. Is this Lifestealer able to handle it, though? He's trying to arm the toggle his way out of there. He's got the Rage, but he doesn't have the Infest anymore. Timbersaw's out of mana, however. He doesn't have the Bloodstone completed. He's going to be chasing on forward. No mana, who cares? I'll do it with right clicks. Right clicks don't actually do too much, as even this Warlock Golem's able to shrug that off. But, wow, what a team fight. I thought that 5-man RP would have done it, but just wasn't enough.
Radiant's middle tower is under
just
attack.
after the Quap died, and so if they had Fatal Bonds into the Quap ult, even Stun ult from him.
Certainly was close. They did take out, what, 3 heroes from the other side? 3 for 4 trade, I think. That's as close as it gets. It's a lot of cooldowns being committed there too. The Warlock Golem, I think, only just came up. Yeah. We've seen him try to set things up for his team, but one too many times he does end up cashing the worst end of that trade. It's bound to happen eventually.
He actually was the Lifestealer was on
Double
the
damage.
and he
Oh. With Ebad dead, it's more aggression coming out here from this Suffocate squad. Invoker in position to try and punish. He drops the meatball, but he will be successful. Stolen meatball now. Gonna be dealing damage to this Ursa. Now the Queen of Pain ultimate on top. Ursa not able to dodge away that damage using his Enrage, but he will be healing under the shrine. And now turning things around. Here comes Magnus with another RP. Onto 2. Everyone's so low. Infest not gonna deal enough damage to finish things off. And already in the backlines, Crystal Maiden's cleaning things up. It's a triple kill for Ursa somehow, and actually everyone's still alive from the side of Rejects. How are they doing this? Sunstrike gonna be good. Gonna be taking out this armlet toggling Lifestealer, and it's a full 5-man wipe for none.
so close to being infinite.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
The RP landed just after Queen died, but she'd already popped her on, and
Radiant's top tower is fallen. Woo-hoo-hoo. Boy, oh boy. Oh my goodness gracious.
well,
now they're headed into the Roshan pit. Winning a team fight's great, but having an Ursa... Oh, actually, no, it's an Invoker with an Aegis. That's pretty good, too.
Not only that, he's finished up his Yules. That means
Oh, boy.
the Orchid on Crop's not gonna do too much.
Top of net worth by a very decent margin. Invoker, he's having a pretty good game. Didn't really see that in game 1. He struggled a lot early on, struggled even further in the mid game, but hey. This game has actually been crazy. It's 22-5. Not even 25 minutes in, we're at nearly 2 kills a minute. And this time it seems like Rejects, they're going to be the ones pulling ahead here. Looking at net worth, it's really not that significant. A lot of these fights have been very close, but this is the largest lead that we've seen so far from any team. 4,000 gold in their favor as they clean up a couple of towers in the bottom lane.
Yeah, I really like the change of saw the first game and decided
Radiant's bottom tower is
they
under
want to
attack.
play hyper-aggressive early game fights than
That
more
force field
match
leads
them
me to
than
believe
one-off.
that Dire just fortified their
It doesn't really
structure.
go
Dire's
well
top
this game.
tower is under attack.
And these fights have rewarded them with an Aegis, with a couple of towers, and they're pushing on forward. Of course, top lane, you do see the Radiant were able to get a trade of their own, but they've got to do something about this bottom push, and Invoker's able to get a nice two-man... Actually, I say two-man tornado. It's going to be a two-man tornado into a Sunstrike, so they're able to force away Disarm coming out onto Ursa from the Heaven's Halberd. He actually can't get rid of this. He doesn't have an Aegis. He's just going to go down here. And that's a successful kill. Another huge RP coming out onto everyone who's left, and with the Fatal Bonds destroying the Rejects, maybe they've bitten off a little more that they can chew. Aegis down, the Deny coming out from Timbersaw too, and well, Invoker going to be respawning into a world of hurt. Is able to blink out, use the Ghost Walk, but the Dust is there, and of course they've got Dust. They're playing against the Nyx Assassin. Another Dust coming out. Queen of Pain jumping on forward. She does have an Orchid, is going to use it. Invoker has the Yules. He's actually trying to juke down to the low ground. Is going to finally use his Yules, but another, I suppose, respawn, dropping back down. And Vaughn picks up that one.
I'd say yeah, do a good job of surviving.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Another huge. This time his team was actually.
Oh
alive
boy,
to,
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
to sort of respond to it. Now they're going to push straight on back.
Seems like a pretty simple equation, really. Lift's going to be interrupting the skewer back, but Dexter, he doesn't mind this. Already, Magnus is dead, thanks to this Ursa, and now Ursa looking for more targets. The Force Staff going to be pushing him forward. He's got the Blink Dagger coming up in a couple of seconds. Can Fun find a suitable getaway vehicle? He's got the Infest, but the first hit bash coming out, and with the Enrage, looking for the extra damage. A nice disarm, actually, going to buy some time, but the stuns are there, and the damage will be 2. They're not done quite yet. New BD is getting chased up here, but he's got a stolen Timber Chain, so he'll be very mobile, able to get out. But you're talking about Invoker doing a good job surviving for as long as he did. Looks like that was significant enough to buy enough time for his team to punish the counter push, and now the counter push coming out. His tier 3 tower is very low, and Ursa is very angry. He's gonna be taking that one. That's the first tier 3 tower down for this game, and forcing out the buyback from Lycia there too. There is an RP available from Magnus, and we all know what that potentially could mean. And it's going to be a tense moment here. Magnus trying to set something up, trying to not have his blink cancelled. Looks like he won't be needing to blink forward here. Rejects, they're going to be retreating. Dexter going to be chaining out of there too.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, that's going to signal the retreat here. Ursa TPing back. Can the rest of his team get out cleanly? Because trying to defend their shrine, it's going to be a full-on smoke play coming out here from Suffocate. They use the scan. It does trigger. And now they've caught out Invoker, but he gets a 4-man tornado, is able to blink out, and that's going to be the end of that one. Rejects, they read that situation perfectly. They didn't want to risk fighting against this Magnus and his RP, so they back off, and the sort of default standard follow-up of taking a tier 3 tower is going for the shrines, but they realize the potential danger that they're in. They realize that the smoke gank is coming for them, and they get out of there too. They don't lose anyone, not even this Invoker as he was caught out by the scan, and suddenly, even after a bit of a disastrous team fight with that Aegis, they're still looking pretty good on the side of Rejects.
This game feels like it's on a nice edge at the moment. I feel like every team fight is absolutely crucial, and the next one could be decisive. Like both teams at the moment, every time they win a team fight, they just go straight for the nearest building to try and take an objective, and that's most likely going to be Wax after the next one. And going to be looking at buybacks and stuff. The Lifestealer has already expended his.
Oh, Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, at this stage of the game, perhaps we should be looking at buyback over net worth to really be the deciding factor. And like you say, that's Lifestealer's buyback down. If he ever dies here, could just be the end of the game for Suffocate. Certainly going to be the end of Shrines, perhaps, as after taking that tier 2, Rejects open up even more of the map for themselves, but they're really not wanting to risk it for now. Ursa, he's going to be left behind, actually silenced up by that Orchid. Even eating an RP here, they're dumping everything onto him, but they will be successful at taking down Ursa. Is that really worth it though? They use the Quap Scream, they use the RP even, and they get the Ursa, and that's a big kill of course, but he's going to be respawning in 30 seconds anyway.
Yeah, he's not actually that high leveled. He's only level 16, and whereas the teacher is 20 and the Invoker's 19, so he's going to be back soon.
Maybe they can find the opening really to punish this use of cooldowns coming out from Suffocate, but we'll see. They do have a couple of smokes. I believe Crystal Maiden has one in her backpack. They could definitely go for that. I want to take a moment to talk about the items coming out here. So we talked about things like a pipe potentially coming out from Suffocate to deal with all the magical damage, but it's actually a pipe onto this Timbersaw first, as he's going to be looking for that as his next item. But we've got a bit of a fight breaking out here already, falling very low on the Magnus thanks to this Invoker Sunstrike, but in goes Lifestealer without his team, and he's actually trying to man-fight this Ursa. Ursa doesn't have a BKB, he can't deal with the Halberd, so he's going to be forced to escape, but this time they've caught out Queen of Pain, forced to use her own BKB and blink out of there. Not too much they can do to fight back without their big ultimates available. No Magnus RP, no Queen of Pain Sonic Wave, and they're just going to be giving this one up, but thankfully for them, Roshan is not up. Rejects aren't able to capitalize. So they're going to have to find another target to go for. It looks like that target might be the Shrine, as it does get pinged out now. RP is going to be back up very soon. Oh, Lifestealer using the Rage, so like the BKB, that's going to be down for a while. They're going to smoke up in full vision, actually. Can this be the setup that they need? Invoker's able to finish off the tower all the same, and now turning things onto Lifestealer, who does not have his Rage yet. But as it does come up, Invoker's going to be blinking away. Drops the Sunstrike, back in anger. And now they're headed right into the Roshan pit, but still, a couple of members from Suffocate are smoked up. Roshan still hasn't respawned. Could be looking at a full-on team fight here. On the high ground sits the Lifestealer. On the low ground comes Nyx Assassin, and he will be stunning up Queen of Pain to start things off. Once again, Lifestealer into the backlines, but now Queen of Pain with her ultimate. Big RP, gonna be destroying this Invoker. He buys back immediately. On the backlines for the other side, Ursa trying to get some damage done, but he's once again halberded up, once again disarmed, and is trying to bash up this Queen of Pain. Will not be successful as Lifestealer finishes him off. Invoker back into the fray, looking to clean up this team fight, but the damage has already been dealt. Timbersaw is able to take out Magnus, but already it's an ultra kill for Lifestealer. We'll see what this back Invoker can do. He can purge off this Glimmer Cape from Newbie Do. Trying to even the odds here, now 2 versus 2, the 2 cores. What can they do? Lifestealer has the opening move here, but These Force Spirits, you don't want to mess with them.
Still a 4 for
It's like-
3 trade because the Invoker bought that. Still good for Suffocate, I think.
And holding on for now, they were the ones without the buyback advantage, and I'd say more than evening that up with the Invoker not having his buyback. He's going to have to be very careful. Level 21 buyback penalty. He's going to be dead for quite a long time if he does go down.
And he's, as a result, he's lost his
Yeah, and Queen of Pain quietly farming up and quietly now at the top of net worth. Walking into Roshan Pit, it's a maximum Roshan timer, so both teams, they know that Roshan has to be up, and that really was the catalyst for that last fight. Gonna be sparking off this one too. Who's actually gonna come out ahead? Yeah, they know what's happening, but I don't think Suffocate can contest. They don't have the Warlock Column available for another couple dozen seconds. And Ursa does Roshan so fast anyway.
They need to be very practical.
Oh, Roshan just got slaughtered by the Dire.
That's perhaps the most significant lead we've seen. We have seen a couple of leads, none of them really, as it stands, still not too significant. It's pretty much just the Aegis and Cheese net worth is dead even. So we'll find out if Suffocate are going to be losing anything more than they already have. That last Aegis push ended pretty badly for Rejects thanks to a nice RP catching them off guard. We'll see if Suffocate can repeat that success. For now, Rejects, they're not going to be taking any undue risks, just going for the easy targets, going for the shrines. But time is not on their side. I feel like they do need to get some damage done with this Aegis.
Once again, Ursa doesn't get anything. I guess he's not very farmed at the moment, but they kind of tried to siege with him last time and he just got bursted down so quickly. She's on the Timbersaw and the Aegis is on the Invoker.
Like you say though, he's really not that farmed. Both the Timber and Invoker actually have more farm than he does, and they were the ones who really cleaned up the end of that last team fight. So maybe a wise decision, maybe not. We'll have to see. Ursa does have a BKB around this time, so will be harder to take down somewhat. Ooh, Boots of Travel trying to gank up Fawn here, but Fawn was able to clean up that creep, able to TP back home, and it's going to be an all-out defense here, as instead of using the Ursa, they're going to be sieging with Invoker this time. Invoker actually blinking forward, dropping the Ice Wall, even dropping the Meatball now. No Meatball for this next fight, but he's got the Alacrity, he's got that Lotus Orb onto him, preventing any aggression. And this tower is slowly but surely going to come down. Very aggressive Force Staff Blink forward coming from Magnus, but doesn't find the targets. He's able to skewer out just fine, but that's a significant cooldown being down. No Force Staff, no skewer for 15 seconds. And this is precious time that they need to defend their towers. Timbersaw, he's just tanking out this one. Open wounds committed, Invoker blinking out. But that's also the Rage now, so now that they've got the combo from Magnus potentially available, they won't have the Rage from Lifestealer. Forge Spirits onto the high ground, Invoker onto the high ground. Glimmer Cape now being used, so much damage onto Invoker just from that one hit though. He's gonna get orchided up, skewered back, and he's gonna be respawning inside his base. Nyx blinking in, not gonna find anyone. He's actually falling very low himself. He's down to less than half health. Invoker's able to blink out successfully, but that's Aegis gone. And that's a very big deal. They won't have Aegis for this next fight, and there's no real cooldowns being committed from Suffocate. They're still holding onto all of their big ultimates. Magnus being very patient with his RP.
He's got a
And perhaps
Shadow Blade. He won't have a Sentry.
Ooh, there's a significant cooldown for you. There's another one, catching just 2 heroes. Nyx Assassin able to hide inside his invisibility. Crystal Maiden giving up her life there, holding people back with her freezing field, and will be successful for now. Queen of Pain popping the BKB, but to match it, the Ursa with his BKB, gonna be bashing down this prop, and goodbye Queen of Pain. Lifestealer not doing too well himself, as here comes Ursa blinking on forward, and with that basher, man, he's doing it. Can he actually do it? The arm that toggles, they are there from Lifestealer. He's got a convenient escape vehicle in this Magnus too, so Magnus able to force after the high ground, bail out his teammates, and quote that Queen of Pain is gonna find something on the back lines. There's an Invoker very low in health. Ursa onto the high ground did get punished for his over-aggression, and perhaps even more punishment. Nice blink from Invoker rather, gonna be dodging things out, but Timbersoul is left behind. And here we go. Timbersoul against the world, he pops the cheese, and now he's ready to take on. The world does want to kill him. Can they actually get it done? The Lotus Orb going to be reflecting the slow, holding back this Lifestealer. But onto the high ground is Invoker. Zoning out the heroes of the Radiant with his spells, and we'll be able to keep Timbersoul alive. We'll be able to force this Queen of Pain back, and Queen of Pain really does not want to risk going down. She just pull it back.
Worthy tribute.
I don't know if you caught it, but the RP was going down on the Timbersaw and the Invoker, but just as soon as he blinked in on him, Genesis went straight away to the other side of the fight. And much like he did then later in the fight, as Quap blinked on him and went to ult, he blinked out of that too. So it was two huge, some incredible reactions from
Pour on the
Genesis.
speed.
Probably winning that team fight for them. Just staying alive the whole time, of course, couldn't afford to die really, as I don't think he quite had buyback or really wanted to. He didn't have the Aegis either. Very important for Genesis to stay alive, and he did, so.
But like you said,
I'd say they
didn't get any
Bounty,
didn't get
which
any
and
they got
prize.
buyback. They got that tower to 2 health. But no ranks.
Yeah, they're going to be trying to finish this one off, actually trying to finish off Lifestealer here. That could be a huge kill. He's raged up, trying to TP. Can we get a bash? We can't!
Oh,
How did... What? That was minimum 4 hits there, right? 4 hits, 5 hits, he didn't get a single bash. This is the same guy who's first hit bashing people earlier, just bashing this Quap to the ground, bashing Lifestealer to the ground, even though Lifestealer didn't go down. But
Radiant's middle tower just got wrecked.
okay. Oh.
did he just drop his bash?
Alright, if it doesn't work, what do you need it for? Invoker, able to clean up that tier 2 tower. Actually, that was Nyx Assassin, but Invoker takes out the Radiant range Rax. And at the same time, it's 41 minutes into the game. That's just a ranged Rax.
Yeah, that's like, I can't believe that's our first Rax to go down with how this game's been going.
We're not lacking in kills, plenty of those. And mind you, this is our SEAA division. These are 2 of our higher ranked teams actually in Echo League, both hovering around that 500 EL rank mark. So these guys, they're not messing around. Tornado coming out, catching onto 2. Can they actually combo much onto it? They're able to take a lot of the mana out of Lifestealer, and that perhaps could be significant, but I don't think they know, as they don't have any high ground vision. Suffocate being very far with their sentries, denying anything like a Nyx onto their high ground or any wards. Where's Nyx Assassin, speaking of? He's off somewhere with a gem, which is significant, I feel, but yeah, they're really not getting too aggressive here. In fact, they're leaving a couple of heroes behind, and this smoke gank coming out from Suffocate could be catching them off guard. They've got eyes onto the Invoker. They just commit the RP onto him just like that. Queen of Pain, she just lets everything loose, but not enough to take out Invoker in time. He's healed up. He's actually lifted up now and will go down.
Pretty tight.
That's Invoker down. No Aegis this time, like we were saying, and he's dead for quite a long time.
Big committal from RP. They look like they're pinging out the Rax though. They want to push. They want to try and see if they can get this Invoker buyback out. The Quap went for the Ags, which is interesting, but it does mean her ult is going to be back up in like 5 seconds now. So that's less of a committal now.
Yeah, that is interesting, actually. I'm surprised we don't see something like a Shiva's Guard come out from this Queen of Pain, because she's definitely struggling with the Ursa a little, but now Ursa is caught out. We'll see who struggles with who here. Queen of Pain blinking right on forward, gets the Orchid out. Ursa does have the Orchid of the BKB, and he's going to be forced to use it. Going to be forcing the buyback out as well. So BKB use from Ursa, that's the 9-second BKB, I believe. And the buyback from Invoker, just from this Queen of Pain's blink in an Orchid. That's a pretty big win for Suffocate.
That was really good from him. I think he got more than he probably expected.
Yeah, Rejects though, they realize the tough spot they're in, and so they're going to be trying to punish Smoke Gang coming on forward, but nice 4 stops away. We'll see if it's nice enough to quote out Lifestealer here too. Lifestealer raging right onto this Invoker. Invoker has the Ghost Wall cover, which means he'll be able to get out just fine. But that is Warlock out of the picture. He's down, no buyback. This time they have managed to catch out Lifestealer. Queen of Pain ultimate flying through, but does not help her Lifestealer out all that much. He's dead. He does have buyback, which is very important. But as we were saying, Warlock does not. So Rejects, they're going to be pushing on forward here. Of course, they're lacking a couple of buybacks of their own. So they're going to have to be very careful here. Buyback from Lifestealer. He's going to be looking to defend the Strax. Ursa with the alacrity on him does a lot of damage. Lotus Orb reflecting a couple of spells, but use the Basher now. My Basher works as Lifestealer, and my Stolen Tornado works too. Ursa gonna be going down there to the RP damage actually to skewer back onto Invoker. That's Invoker down with no buyback. Crystal Maiden will be the next sacrifice, and now looking on towards Timber, so he does have a Lotus Orb, of course, but Queen of Pain, she's got that Bloodthorn. TP into the Timber Chain. He will be able to get out just fine. But that's a big kill coming out onto both the Ursa, but even more importantly, this Invoker.
Yeah, that was really not what they wanted from that push. They've now got to defend 70 seconds with no Invoker. Ursa's gonna have to buy back too.
Well, he's gonna do just that. We'll see if they actually can hold on. Nice stun from Nyx, gonna be landing onto 2 and the 2 damage dealing heroes, but in return, Timbersoul, he's getting screwed out. He can't reflect the Orchid. He does reflect the Orchid rather, but he can't purge it off. Can they get this Queen of Pain kill? She's able to blink to the high ground. Ursa gonna be blinking on forward, gonna be going on to Rubik, but here comes Warlock finally breaking things up with that nice ultimate. Can they actually hold back this Ursa? He's still holding onto the Enrage. Another huge stun coming out from Nyx, setting things up for Timber. So that's actually fallen down now. He doesn't have buyback. Queen of Pain with the BKB on the high ground, but is getting bashed up. That Orchid is not going to be enough. So Queen of Pain down with no buyback either. And they're not done yet. Warlock gets chopped down by that Timber Chain. And the thing, I don't even know this game. It just swings right back in favor of Rejects.
It's absolute bloodbath. This is like genuinely one thing you think it's done. They hold so well with the Invoker buyback, and then they push, and then the Invoker dies back, and they just manage that hold with no Invoker, and it's just gonna come back. He's got bot.
That's not supposed to happen.
Yeah.
You don't have your Invoker. That's probably your most important hero.
Yeah, it's a nice fashion. Also probably fixed his Skull Rushes up. So
Yeah. Check the warranty. It was still valid and valid for this next push. We're talking about the lack of buybacks. But they were able to hold without the Invoker. Can Suffocate do the same without their Lifestealer and Queen of Pain? Rejects are not even gonna bother with Araxis. They want this game. They smell victory. They lost in game 1. And they are looking to even things up here. The stun is gonna miss, which means that Rubik's able to get away to his high ground. RP onto 2 here, but the root, it's stopping the skewer from happening. Another RP with the refresher, and this time there is a root, but it got interrupted there by the Ancient? Well, there's that, I guess. That was their best chance at holding this. Although holding this Invoker behind as he dives very deep here. Diving even deeper is going to be Dexter. They've taken down the tier 4s, but here comes Lifestealer. He's respawned. He's running right past these Charkums. That glyph, it's actually preventing this victory from happening. And, well, Lifestealer, he's taken down Invoker. Invoker's dead. Well, we'll see if Lifestealer actually will be able to clean up. Looks like for now he might just be. Queen of Pain actually will be the one to clean things up, and that's Ursa down, that's Timbersoul down, and of course Invoker earlier. Well.
how did they hold with that?
Wow. A bit of messing around there from Rejects, and they do get punished for it. They, of course, take down the tier 4 towers. They bring this Radiant Ancient very low. They force out the glyph, but they still can't finish the game. Guys?
What's going on? Like, Yeah, they didn't. They used both RPs, so they didn't have an RP
Worthy
for when their team was actually up, but they managed to stall them. Invoker even bought a Deso to try and do that push quicker. And it still wasn't enough.
Oh boy, the fun never ends, and gonna be more fun here for our life sealer if he can get his hands onto this Roshan kill. Queen of Pain. Gonna be popping. Actually, no, she didn't pop anything. She's got the Bloodbath. That would certainly speed things up, but it really doesn't seem like Rejects can contest this Roshan attempt anyway. In fact, it doesn't seem like they can contest anything, as we've got a disconnect coming from Invoker here.
We have 2 buybacks in the game at this point in time. You got the CM and the Magnus. Everyone else either can't afford it or doesn't have it. In fact, the Quap bought out. She went for a Maelstrom and so it doesn't have buyback. Interesting. And same Timbersaw went for an Ags. So he doesn't have buyback either. So let's hope they don't get caught out.
Yeah, I mean, it even has buyback. Perhaps that's the better question. As it stands, it's actually only the Magnus and Crystal Maiden who have buyback. Although, I suppose a couple of heroes, they do have the cooldown, but they're still missing the gold. Roshan's gonna give a nice influx of gold to the Radiant, however, so even their support should have buyback. I wonder if we're reaching that stage where you just time buybacks, and if someone doesn't have buyback, you just throw bodies at them.
Yeah, like it would be really funny to see if either team picks off this this Timsaw or the Quap, and then sort of tentatively pushes to try and get their buyback out. But in fact, they don't have it at all. I mean, if they grab this Aegis and Cheese, and then wait another minute, because Magnus's refresher orb's going to be up in 76 seconds, so if they grab that, go push high ground with a refresher RP.
This'll come in handy.
Let me tell you that Roshan, he just delivered a bunch of goodies to the Radiant.
Yeah, I mean, that refresher RP didn't do all that much because there wasn't too much follow-up, but it had a lot of heroes stunned for a very long time, which perhaps helped them hold for what almost seemed like an impossible hold, but
Yeah.
apparently this game nothing is impossible. Well, we're entering the 50th minute now. We've got, how many kills is that? 79 kills on the board. And this might actually be a record for kills in Echo League Season 2 so far. Gonna have to look that one up later. But still, with the game in precarious balance, Rejects, they're not afraid at all. They're actually very split up. And in stark contrast, Suffocate, they've grouped up as 5. They're going for a smoke, and now they've even found a regen rune, which could be pretty handy. Although, Crystal Maiden did spot that out. They're not able to find the CM just yet. She is force staffing, is hiding inside that Glimmer Cape, going to be reducing that Soulburn damage, which is actually going to keep her alive, so no one's dead. In fact, it's going to be Invoker on the wrong side of the map. I say wrong side. He thinks it's the right side of the map. Getting that split push going on, threatening this Ancient and forcing all the heroes from Suffocate back.
They're terrified. They want to push, but this Invoker's just pushing in on them, and they've got an open Ancient. He's healing up decently now, but still, he's got Deso. He can push really quick.
And this is one of those moments where you wish you had an Omni Knight with an Aghanim Scepter and Refresher Orb, but you can't really call in Sunstrikes from another game, can we? And we'll see who actually makes the first move here. That last move from Suffocate didn't really pay off. Invoker was in position to punish, and realizing the potential threat, Suffocate, they're all just hiding inside their base now, and who can blame them, really?
Yeah. Aegis used to be a defending high ground there. But they're in such a precarious position that they're so vulnerable.
No glyph. It's up soon, in less than a minute, which is definitely worth talking about, actually. could be the difference between a win and a loss here for either of these teams. Right, so I want to take some time to talk about this Ursus item build. He's just completed his MKB, but that means he hasn't got the full Skull Bash. He hasn't got the Abyssal Blade completed. And we've seen a couple of moments where just the bashes was enough to do it, but also a couple of moments where his basher does seem a bit defective. I normally see the Abyssal Blade being heavily favored by Ursus to be able to burst people down, but he's gone for the Monkey King bar this time.
Yeah, I saw
Double damage.
It was interesting, and I was thinking about what sorts of evasion they have, and it's literally
Whoa!
just this.
They just killed Radiant's courier!
The lifestealer has. That's it.
Yeah, he didn't even go for the evasion talent at level 20, so yeah, I don't know. In other news, other interesting items, we all saw this Invoker pick up the Desolator. Going for a more standard item now with that Octarine core. Nothing really to say about Timbersoul's items either. Probably going to be replacing this pipe with an Octarine core of his own. And he's pretty much as strong as he gets. That's a good point. There's no Lincoln Sphere on anyone, is there? And yeah, no Lotus Orb, nothing of that sort. And speaking of items, Crystal Maiden doesn't actually know what an item is. She's running around with 5,000 gold. That's more than half her net worth, actually.
3 wards in the quick buy. She knows her priorities. I love that. 5k gold and only has wards in the quick buy. Look at. You seen this Radiant Courier at the Dire Secret shop?
Oh wow, yeah, I saw it on the minimap. I'm like, yeah, that's pretty normal. That's just a curry at a secret shop. Oh, ooh, these creeps. Thankfully, they're not mega creeps. Actually, that would have been a dead courier, I think. What's even on it? That's a Hyperstone? Queen of Pain's Mjolnir, I think? Yeah, Queen of Pain's got that Mjolnir recipe queued up.
Lifestealer wasn't able to get his
Oh. That's quite significant.
although it would buy out his buyback, so I guess maybe.
I mean, the other thing, actually, especially for Suffocate, who actually, let's hold that full. This Nyx is getting bashed up here. Orchided up to inside the Glimmer Cape. Can he get out? Going to be able to blink out before that ultimate from the Queen of Pain hits, and that's space created for the rest of his team to get a bit of damage onto this top tier free tower, already down to less than a quarter of its health. Actually, just over a quarter. I can't do maths. Maths, whatever. Magnus, he wants to punish. Deftly dodging the chakram so his blink's not cancelled. They do have vision onto the high ground. They know where Timbersoul is. Do they actually want to go for it? That's going to be the question. Looks like the answer is no. Even with that Lifestealer inside of him, he doesn't want to go for this AV. Going to be very patient.
I assume the age is just timed out.
Who was it on? Queen of Pain? Yeah, Queen of Pain's age just timed out.
I just don't know. Now with the whole team.
Oh, Radiant's top tower is under attack!
Yeah, but his Shadow Blade has actually run out. The RP is gonna miss! Oh no!
That's one hell of a time for a pause.
Oh no! Can he get out?
He's got Skewer, but Invoker's just cast that tornado, hasn't he? He didn't cast that before. Yeah, no.
Yeah, we
doesn't
don't even see the tornado yet.
Yeah, no, he's cast it that soon. That's a bit rough.
Well, we have a situation.
Yeah, this is.
Queen of Pain's really the only hero who's in range to do anything.
He could be. This is always one of those. I've completely forgot he's got Lifestealer inside him. So if he dies, Lifestealer's almost certainly dead too. But yeah.
Yeah, no, that's true.
When you're Magnus in this situation and it gets paused, I think that the only thing you can do is be like, "Hi, please don't kill me."
Yeah. It's... I mean, I think he should be able to get out fine. Hopefully, maybe. He's got the blink dagger.
Yeah.
Is it cancelled? I guess we'll see if this tornado hits. But yeah, he will be able to blink.
Got it.
This'll come in
That
handy.
was close. That was very close. And he does TP out safely, but that's still an RP down. And of course, RP down. That's a pretty big deal. Ooh, Orchid coming out onto Ursa. He doesn't want to pop the BKB. Instead, gonna rely on this Crystal Maiden's Glimmer Cape. Here we go, though. Look at these. Ooh, actually, two-man Tornado. Sunstrike to follow with the double Chakram. Here comes Crystal Maiden, force staffing in forward, is lifted up, is going to be taking damage from a Life Stealer, and she will go down, but the Rack's still already going down. Queen of Pain looking to defend the Mega Creeps and is doing a pretty good job of it. Counter Tornado onto Invoker. He's going to be dropping down. They do have the detection for him, so they tilt him. He's going to be buying back, but already they've lost both their supports.
The Ancient is going down.
Ooh, the Ancient. Yeah. They're finally able to defend with Lysander coming in using that Empower and the Cleave, but they only have a couple of structures to defend. Quite literally, there's this Range Rex, which is the one thing holding the Mega Creeps back, and this Radiant Ancient, which is the other thing holding these creeps back. Oh yeah, he really wants it.
They don't have Glyph. He's just gonna...
Yeah, he's got to be careful though, he doesn't have buyback. Although apparently that doesn't mean anything.
How long to rush? It's gonna be soon. If Invoker could get rushed, then is kind of no doubt. It's sort of mitigated. The other thing I'm surprised they're not making use of is I love this change to allow double runes to spawn at over 40 minutes. And so if they got like Invoker, like just picked up that DD rune, or every 2 minutes they went and checked, see if they could find themselves arcanes or
Gold and
they
sweet.
can be game changing.
I mean, that's exactly what that change was intended to do, I think, to be a game changer in the late game. And given how stalemated this game is, we could certainly use a game changer to close things out.
Well, not in game.
As if these refreshers up, it's just gonna take 700 HP on that range Rax.
And Range Rexes don't regenerate.
Train protect.
Although, actually, even if that Range Rex goes down, Suffocate, they've got the Magnus with the Empower.
Yeah, what's going on? Oh, look, not all that bad. You say there's been a Mega Creeps come back in Echo League?
I think they have, actually. I'm not too certain on that. I'm gonna need to look that one.
And rushes up.
Yeah, that's gonna help. Especially Invoker, who doesn't have buyback, although does he even have the slots for it? I guess he could replace the Yules. Yeah, I guess. If you can stay alive with Yules, there's not much point having the Aegis anyway. Ursa, he's got a slot ready for this. Although he's just going to be using that for the cheese, so they do give Invoker the Aegis who replaces the Deso, which I suppose also makes sense. Yeah, we'll see. Mega Creeps, will that be the target, or will they just go for the Ancient or bust?
Or try and bait out something somewhere and go the other way. I'm surprised that we are an hour in. Oh no, there's a hex. Pop has a hex.
There we go, but Quap does not have buyback. That's big.
Magnus does have a refresher
And the buyback too, so even if he dies, he's gonna be dropping down, having his blink cancelled, but they're still holding the high ground for now. These Force Spirits though, they gotta take them down. Alacrity does some serious work.
That's half of the job done. And the creeps pushing in bottom.
Yeah, it's just constant threat.
There's a double siege creep coming in the bot lane.
Sage creeps are harder to take down too these days. Perhaps a bit of a understated change. Actually, here comes Lifestealer blinking on forward with the Abyssal Blade, but he gets bashed up in return. A nice Warlock Golem onto Frida with the Fatal Bonds on top, dealing so much damage. Crystal Maiden, she's used her money for a BKB, but that doesn't mean squat. And now the RP onto the Invoker with this Nyx in tow. Invoker gonna be respawning here into yet another RP. Actually, the RP not committed as they realize he's able to blink out, but they're cleaning up this fight in a big way. Where's Timbersaw? And in fact, where's Invoker? He blinks into the face. There's no glyph. They don't have a glyph, but they have an RP. And looks like that might just be enough. Timbersaw, he's getting bashed up. They're actually able to hold.
He's dominating Ricky. His Radiant's courier just got killed.
And the courier's like, yeah, I was in this fight too. He's like, yeah, take me. Wow. I mean, that was as bad as it could possibly be. No glyph. They were fighting against Aegis and Cheese, and they're still able to hold.
How? Range racks on 176.
They didn't even get the range racks?
No, they don't have megas.
I mean, look at these, not mega creeps just melt the Mjolnir. That really doesn't mean all that much.
Mike doesn't have super boots, so he can't join them at this point in time.
Will he need to? Invoker's dead with no buyback.
Yeah, well, in this game, I'm pretty sure literally anything can happen.
Dire's middle tower's under attack.
I mean, we'll wait for what anything means. As for now, it's gonna be
Dire's
fun.
structures are fortified.
They're holding on to it for
Dire's
now.
middle tower's under attack.
All of their buybacks, free heroes have respawned, didn't use a buyback, came at the cost
Dire's middle tower.
of a tower in mid lane.
Dire's middle barracks
And yeah,
needed
that's
one to
actually no,
do
they're not even gonna go for Rex. They go straight for the tier 4 here. Can they actually fight? Dagon something, Dagon 5 actually, that was really didn't feel like a Dagon 5.
Barracks are getting attacked.
Lifestealer, he's still got the cheese. Can they actually get it done? Versus gonna be respawning. Invoker's still down for quite some time. Magnus going forward, eats a Dagon, but Nyx is already dead. Nyx instantly buying back here. Ursa didn't get his BKB off in time, so he got lifted up. But that doesn't matter. They're able to get the Invoker. Could they even able to get the Queen of Pain kill actually? And now the Rubik to follow shortly after his Magnus goes down, and well, they did not need their Invoker there apparently.
Is it something I
The
said?
BKB freezing field did not get touched. That did so much damage.
Yeah, I mean, they tried to go on the Ursa, try to hold him back, but that means they're not holding back this Crystal Maiden as
They
well.
immediately brought back 3 heroes.
They had to.
Ruby Boo and Levy McGunn. Literally 2 hits from this Invoker, and that's mega creeps. Oh.
Can they even get 2 hits? This is almost like a tower defense game, as you gotta kill the Forge Spits before they kill your buildings.
Although, I can't believe when I turned around to see a dire hero wrapping me, that it was the team.
You'd imagine he'd be more effective in the team fight. Here we go, into the mid lane. Timbersaw causing havoc, which buys the space for these actually. Well, Hex coming out onto Ursa. He is a pig, and he is RP'd actually. 2-man RP. The skewer back too. There is the refresher orb available. You're not going to be using that just yet as they've got the bash, but Ursa, he's putting up a damn good fight. Not good enough though. He's got the buyback, mind you, but he's also got mega creeps for his team, making that space Queen of Pain. Going to be taking him down, but well, we've got a situation once again.
Yep, they really. Although their buyback's down. How many buybacks do they have on rejects? None. Literally none.
Yeah, except for the Ursa, who's dead.
Timbersaw. Yeah. And
Oh yeah, Timbersaw. I mean, yeah, this is the question. Do you actually just buy back on the Ursa and say, screw it, let's just go for it? We know there's no buybacks, or not that many on the Radiant, not too many that matter anyhow. Do you just go for it? Do you say, we've had enough?
Master.
And their buyback's not going to be up in a minute. So wait for the Ursa and then say, screw it, let's go. There's no sign of an Aegis anytime soon. So,
Well, if that's the verdict, looks like this game might get longer, but could be ending here if Lifestealer goes down with no buyback. He's actually chasing on forward, gonna be taking a Dagon to the face. So he's thinking about it. He started up the chain, but canceled it. He's like, do I actually want to chain on forward into this Abyssal Blade Lifestealer? And, well, gonna be doing it the slow way every single time. His Dagon's off cooldown, but actually, he was not prepared for this Queen of Pain blinking in with that Hex, or the Bloodthorn really, but he's a tanky hero. Doesn't mind all that much, and of this Crystal Maiden backing him up, he's fine.
Invoker tried to kill AV on the bot lane, but he's got a link in his hand.
Getting out, holding on for now.
That's enough. He doesn't have that pistol. Okay. If they manage to kill the which isn't easy, but you would have thought of poor pick-off.
Haste!
Oh boy. 66 minutes, and almost at the 100 kill mark. Haste rune for Ursa. Gonna be walking to the other side of the map to maybe pick up the other rune. Feel like I have to mention Invoker still holding on to that Desolator.
Why not? You gotta take the ancient at some point.
Oh, bottom lane, Nyx gets right onto Queen of Pain, and alone he's able to deal a lot of damage. Queen with that Hex, with the Bloodthorn in return. And here comes Lycia, who actually gets to jump onto this Ursa, but Ursa with the Vessel Blade off his own. But this is just Bash Wars between here. Magnus, he's biding his time. He gets the RP onto the backlines, but Quap's already dead. Skewering into another RP, now into the Warlock Golem. They're able to get all these kills with a Fatal Font. It's a lot of damage. Crystal Maiden not able to do it this time, not able to let it go, but can this Ursa, can this Timbersaw rather, he cleans up this fight. 3 heroes down for the side of Suffocate. And actually, wow. What an end to that game.
Looks like we got ourselves a triple kill here, Rick.
Morty, quit acting like a detective. They want Morty.
Alright.
Quit yelling at me about it.
Wow.
Again, what a series.
And that was a spectacular finish to that game too. I really thought that Suffocate, they had that team fight with the Warlock Column coming out with that sick RP at the end.
Yeah,
But it just wasn't enough. Any closing thoughts on that series?
it's just an absolute bloodbath. It was really, really enjoyable to watch. Yeah, no, but fair play to Rejects. I think they did an incredible job after effectively getting really I wouldn't go as far to say stomped, but they had a really rough first game. They completely changed their draft and sort of beat Suffocate at their own game. So respect.
Well, that game too certainly was close. The series certainly was close, but it does end 1-1 apiece here. Rejects versus Suffocate. Actually, Suffocate, they've drawn every single one of their group stage games so far, which maybe is worth noting. But that's it for us from now. You've been watching Echo League. This is our SEA A division. I'm Sticky Pie. With me is GasBeaR. Have a good night.